We're going to make the barbecue utensil roll. You need to put all your pattern pieces together. There's little markings to show you how to connect them. And when you've done that, just follow the instructions for cutting them out. So this is what it's going to look like. You've got a couple of straps here. I'm going to unroll it. And I've just put our barbecue bits and bobs in. But it made some pockets. And these are your little straps that we're going to sandwich. And then sew the top over. So it's a nice little easy project, but it does look effective. And then just roll it back up when you're done and tie your ties. Like so. And it protects all your barbecue-y stuff. So here we go, this is what we do. So first of all, I'm going to baste our fleece batting to our fabric. So I need a longer stitch length. And off we go. On the last bit now. You need something that's going to protect all the spatulas and things like that inside it, so that there's nothing sharp that can come through. So use whatever you think, but I do love this batting. And then we're going to trim it round. Just getting rid of all the excess batting here. And then the last bit, this butterfly fabric is absolutely gorgeous. I think this week this could actually be one of my favourites. So I've got my fabric, and now I want to make my pocket for my utensils. So do we decide, are we going to have this on here like this, or do we want that to be the front? I think I like the contrast, so I'm going with the contrast. So I'm going to first of all do a top stitch across the top, and that's just keeps it together, and it looks nice. So do a bit of a top stitch. Also, you've got to decide where you want your pockets. I want 4 in mine. So I folded mine in half and then folded again. And that gave me my crease lines for my pocket. Yeah. So now I'm going to sew across the bottom first. So this fabric's basically been folded in half. It's this length and folded in half, and then you've done your top stitch across the top. So I'm just going to base this on the bottom. You can just do a big stitch because you're going to properly stitch it when you do the other side of the roll. Just move that down a bit. Now we're going to do up this side. Okay, so that's that bit done. Now we're just going to do up this side, and then we want to stitch in our pockets. There we go. So now I'm going to put my stitch length down a bit because I want it to be secure. I want my pockets to be secure. I don't want it to be a top stitch as such. I want it to be a nice secure pocket. I'm just following my crease line all the way up to the top. Then I'm going to turn for possibly one stitch, or maybe two. And then back down one again. Down to the bottom, and we'll do the next one. So I'm going to do the one at the other end now. I need to roll this a bit, just so it's not fighting me. There we go. Go, turn, and then back down again. And then we just got the middle one to do. We've got all our pockets in for all our spatulas and such. And the pockets are big enough to put tongs in as well, and skewers. And then back down the other side. And our pockets are made. We've got our pockets there now. So now we have to decide where we want to put our straps. So I'll have a look at these, because I'd put these in the perfect place. So we want one set of straps here. This would be the perfect place, about here. So it's on the fold, folded it over, and that set of straps is there. I'm now going to do the other strap. So what I did with these, I cut a 4-inch piece of fabric, folded it in half and pressed, folded into the middle and over and pressed, and that's your strap. So we're just going to sew all the way around on this. Ready to put the other one on. And this is a lovely easy way to make a strap rather than turning a long piece where you have to turn it through. It's much easier. And it's nice and substantial as well. Right, just set, turn. Now we actually did the we turned under on there, so I'm just going to take this out. It's no big deal, just chop that off. And I need to turn that under, because otherwise I'm going to have raw edges showing, and I don't want that. Turn it under. Back under again a little bit more, I think. Just get rid of a bit more stitches so I can get in there. That's it. So I'm just going to press that under. Back under again. And then let's get a clip. And make sure we do the same with the other end, because I just don't want raw edges, or it'll just spoil it in my opinion. So we'll do the same here. It's no big deal, it's only a top stitch, so it's only like a basting stitch. There we go. So now we're going to turn that under. There we are. Same at the other side. See, things are easily fixed if you forget to do certain bits and bobs. Off we go. Let's start back down here. Go along to the end, and then get rid of all these bits of cotton. We're just going to soak this end here. So I've got no raw edges. Go back a bit, back down, and finish off where we started. we're going to fold these over, and I want to put this one maybe about here. Now with this other one, I've done a nice fold. So you've got like a fold over pocket here. With this one that I've done here, I've not done it. It's just choice, isn't it? Whatever you want to do. Could have folded it over. I just want to put that in a decent spot for wrapping around, because this is going to come over here as well. So this is going to be a lot shorter. So now they're in the right spot, we're going to lay over our other piece of fabric. We've got our straps on. There we go. And then we've just got to put some clips. So we're going to sew all the way around, apart from leaving an opening about the width of your hand when it's fully open. Just so if you can get your hand in there, you know you can turn it really. So I think we'll do the opening on the opposite side of where the straps are. So we'll probably sew to about there, and then here, leave that gap. So I'll start here. Put my stitch length back down, and I'm going to sew all the way around. Just on the other side. Now this is where I've got my straps. I'm going to move them a little bit out of the seam allowance just to secure it a bit more when I get to that. So here we are. So just pull them out a little bit, just a bit, so they're just hanging over. Take your time going over the straps. Same with this strap. Need to just pull it out a little bit so it just makes it more secure. And then sew down to the bottom. I'm going to turn. I've got a bit of excess fabric here, but I can feel it, so I am still doing 1/4 inch seam allowance. But I've just got a bit of excess fabric there, that's all. Now we're on the last bit, and I've got to remember to leave that gap, or we won't be turning anything through. So I need to take those corners right off and maybe down the edges a bit as well, just to make sure we can get a really good turn. I see my extra fabric here that I said. So I just want to chop that off. And then as close as you can without snipping the stitches. Last bit. Get them out of the way, they're going to stick to everything. So now it's time to find the opening. Bit of fabric, see it's sticking to everything already. Pull everything through. And then we're going to have to make sure I get those corners pushed out. So here we are. So where's my knitting needle? No, we don't know where that is, so we'll use this. I'm going to make sure that I my thumb in there and just push that through. And then this stiletto will help. There we go. The other end. You just got quite a few layers, so you just need a bit of help getting those corners out. That's it. So now the top, which isn't as thick because you don't have the pockets to contend with. So look here. It's a lot easier, isn't it? There we are. So the last corner. Here we are. There we are. Okay, so now I've got to lay this down. Because I need to top stitch this and top stitch that hole closed, and then when we've top stitched it all, got to decide where this is going to fold over to, probably something like that. So let's do the top stitch and then I'll take the tools out of the other one and I can make a decision. I'm just going to roll them seams. can't find my tools because they're all over the floor. Right, so just going up this end. And then this, I'm going to pull this taut. And hopefully it will sit nice. Another pin in there. So this is now closing it up. I've just got to top stitch around the rest of it. Right, so just down the other side, I believe. Yeah, we've done across the bottom, sort of on the last bit now. Ooh! It didn't like that, did it? Never mind. Right, just getting my bits of cotton off. There we are. So now, let's borrow some of them tools. But it's take one, don't we? So let's pop that in there. So we know where they're going, how much room they take. So I reckon about there would be good. Ruler, 1 inch. This isn't an actual pocket, it's just a bit of a cover. And then the same over the other side. Just sew down here and we are done. So we've got all our tools in our bag. Got a little bit there to keep them covered. So now we just need to roll it around. There we are. Pull the straps around. Got a bit of cotton there, I'll have to sort that in a second. There we go. Lovely little barbecue tote.